we'll jump right into it.
I wasn't prepared.
But you could prepare in like the 15 seconds
Oh,
that you
Jesus. And
Hey,
got.
don't worry. I'll delay for my opening.
Rocky,
I got you, girl.
Is she good over there?
As good as it's gonna get tonight, guys. Just
Great.
as good as it's gonna get.
Great. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to our podcast. We are the Babbling Sisters. I'm Nellie.
I'm Riss.
And I'm Steph.
And today we have an amazing guest named Dimples. And when she composes herself because of Riss, she'll introduce herself.
Take your time, I can
Boo.
edit.
It's okay.
Oh, that's okay. Dimples. That's it. That's it. Yeah, my name is just Dimples. Like, I mean, my name says it all. Like, I laugh a lot. I smile just as much. You know, it's a great vibe over here. You know, so my name is Dimples.
We're so happy you're here
Love
today.
it. As she's crying.
As I'm wiping the tears.
I appreciate you guys.
Is it my fault?
Honestly.
Did I do something?
Wait until after the episode to really say you appreciate us or not, because I don't know.
I'm in rare form tonight, apparently. So
No, there might be some forgiveness needing to happen on this podcast. So, the topic we are going to discuss is forgiveness, and that's a big bag. I feel like I say that a lot with a lot of our topics. Like, why do we have such big bag fulls of topics?
we always so heavy. We need some love episodes or something. Shoot.
Oh my goodness. Those
Heavy but healing. That's a huge thing that I go by. Heavy, but it's healing. If you can talk about it, baby, on the road to recovery, you know? All 2022.
There you go.
absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, we're going to get into what each of us really define forgiveness as. Everybody sees forgiveness differently. The struggles of forgiveness, as well as just our own personal take on where we stand with forgiveness. Some of us are much further evolved than others in forgiveness. So, we're going to unravel, unfold, unload it all here.
Guess you were talking about me in that situation.
More so Steph too, because she did a really great forgiveness journey recently.
I did, thanks to Dimples.
Yeah,
Huh? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? What did Dimples do?
Oh,
Dimples got me to forgive, and I wrote forgiveness letters. I'm not going to read them or anything, but I've really embraced it. And every day I have woken up and I've asked myself, do I still feel that way? And so far, I do.
Ah, girl, don't get the chills. Don't do that. I love it. That's growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, every day, to choose that every day. And it's a choice to forgive. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy, but it's a great choice. It's a great choice. For sure. Super healing. I'm not capping. Like, I've been there, girl. I've been there.
It's true. I feel so much lighter.
Yeah, it helps. You know what I'm saying? But I used to be like, I'm about to be 30 next year, so I can say that. But, when I was younger, I was like, forgive you for hurting me. You not happening today. Nope, not ever, But I'm Scorpio and we hold grudges. And baby, them grudges it takes so much to have your hand in a fist, you know what I'm saying? And then when you release it, it's just like, oh shoot, I could have did that. That's forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Takes a lot. Girl, you want to punch people sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, give them what they deserve, what they gave you. No, Rissa, No, we don't choose violence.
I
We want
do.
to.
I was more looking at Nels because violence is her answer.
Yeah.
Violence is her answer.
I
I mean,
mean,
look,
listen, it happens, you know.
been there,
I
done
get the
that.
whole idea of forgiveness is for yourself, not for them. But no, for me, feel fine not forgiving you and just cutting you off and going on. Because even like I have tried to forgive and I've forgiven people. And then for me, I'm a Cancer. I'm way too damn emotional. So once
Jesus.
you hurt me. And there's really like no coming back. But if I do give you back that trust and forgive you, and then you come back and you do it again, it shatters it for everybody else. And it's happened so many times to the point where I'm just like, I'm fine with not forgiving you and cutting you out and no hard feelings. I hope you
Yeah.
have a blessed life, but you can't come back over here. For me, when I forgive someone, that's letting them back in. And I know that there's like that distinction of you can forgive and not deal with the person. But why
Yeah.
am I forgiving you for you? That's going to make you feel better about you doing something stupid and you're going to go do it to the next person? No, I don't forgive you. Sit in your shit. I don't care. I'm
Hey,
happy over here without you.
it's difficult though too. You have to put the trust in forgiveness too. If you're gonna forgive somebody, you gotta trust that they're gonna actually accept that true second chance. We look at second chances different. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm still
Mm,
here with you, so that's a second chance. But is it a true second chance? You're still second guessing what this person may have caused you or done to you. You know what I'm saying? But forgiveness, that's you gotta grab onto that and say, you know what, I genuinely forgive you, and
but I don't.
I know. It's so difficult. It's something that you work on every day and with every life situation. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. It's like one of those things as far as grieving, because something's gonna happen where you're gonna have to forgive it. Like like you yelled at your child, and you want them to forgive you for yelling at you. You know what I'm saying? And give you another chance to go at it. But forgiveness is hard. It's really hard, but it's worth it in the end for yourself. I don't give a damn about anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But at least for me, if I can feel like, okay, being forgiven is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You want the same feeling as far as when you forgive somebody. You know, it's difficult though. It's
It
It's
is.
really difficult.
struggle
I
bus.
look at it like I'm not like hating you anymore, so that's growth. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
forgive you and I'm definitely not gonna forget. I'm
yeah,
hard-headed, I'm stubborn, I hold on to stuff.
yeah.
Like I've forgiven some people and it really depends on who they are and it depends on what you do. Like there's a level for me. If you cross over that level, no, you ain't
Mm.
getting this forgiveness. Nope, no,
You
nope.
can forgive and not deal with them ever again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like I said, it always comes to you. It's only for you. If you can move on, forgive them. That doesn't mean that you have to deal with them again. No, baby, I've forgiven you. I don't want you. Throw them in the trash. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean you don't care for them any less. You don't wish harm on them. Yeah, I mean, you don't, right? No. But you know what I'm
You
saying?
don't
Like
have to
sometimes,
answer that. Plead the fifth.
like,
Well,
I want to be accessory now. I want to be
depends on
accessory.
who you asking about and their level.
Look, yeah, but it does depend on like what
I
they've
may
done to
visualize.
you. It does depend on what they did to you. We have boundaries, and if you cross a certain boundary, there's no coming back for me, baby. So
True.
pick and choose wisely. But I'm still gonna forgive, not per se what you've done to me, but I'm gonna forgive how I reacted to what you've done to me. You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways of forgiving.
I can forgive how I reacted. I could forgive myself, but I can't forgive them.
The times
That's
when
your
you bust out the
stubbornness, girl.
tires. I forgive myself for messing up your tires, baby. You know what I'm saying? But you caused it.
But
You
you
caused
shouldn't
it.
have done what
You're
you
like,
did.
yeah, come on now. Come on, cause and effect, baby. Cause and effect. I'm the effect of your cause. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Like,
Consequences for your actions.
absolutely. Own it,
I am the
baby. Own it.
consequence.
Absolutely. Hey, I
I
don't
think
have
like
time
I've
to wait on
I've
karma.
Right. I've forgiven people, but it's taken time. Like I can't just be like, you know what, okay, after you've apologized and after you've had a conversation, like I need time to go through my feelings. Like I'm a very emotional person, and these two will tell you, and everyone that knows me will tell you, I am way too emotional. And as soon as like I'm hurt, I'm going off, and I'm coming to hurt you back. Like I'm coming for blood. Like I'm hurting you. You're gonna feel what I'm feeling,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have to forgive me too, and you might not want to. So it's a
Well,
vicious cycle.
one thing I was just telling my significant other, I was telling Mike, I was like, we should try this with our kids. Like, get a fresh sheet of paper, right? It looks perfect, what they consider perfect, right? And give them a piece of paper and tell them to rip it to crap. You know what I'm saying? Just rip it as much as you can. Doesn't matter what it looks like, none of that. Just make it look disgusting,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then say I'm sorry to that paper and try to put it together, right? It's still damaged. It's still damaged.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
it takes you, forgiving yourself for what you've done, and apology. Yeah, not apologies aren't going to fix everything. You know what I'm saying? But it's a start
Right.
to forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like you want them to forgive you for what you've done and what you've caused. You know what I'm saying? But it's not going to be fixed like that. Sometimes it takes a
Right.
whole lot more to fix what you've done to it, So we do little small lessons around here because, when I was younger, we didn't have these little lessons. So me as an adult, forgiveness, that's one of the F words you don't say around me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say the other F word, but
Yep.
so it takes a lot. But I feel like my personal life, it started when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Not seeing your parents show forgiveness or anything like that. That's super deep, and a lot of us have like issues with our parents. You know,
Yeah.
that stemmed with us today. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30, and I'm still working on forgiving my father personally. You know what I'm saying? But as far as him knowing I've forgiven him, you know what I'm saying? Like I forgave him for me, so I can move on, and I have a son, so I want to show him that it's okay
Yeah.
to forgive how the things that's happened to you, and not feeling protected, as a daughter should.
Yeah.
But it gets deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? You want to break those generational curses. Keep going and keep
Right.
going. And forgiveness is one of the things that it's stopping with me. You know what I'm saying? It's starting and stopping with me. We need to forgive more and not choose to hold those grudges, because we're getting nowhere with not being able to forgive or show forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's
I
a lot.
honestly like, and I'm gonna be completely honest, and this is good. I'm gonna sound like a complete bitch. So
Get it, girl.
when someone does something to me, right? I call myself holding on to a grudge. But when you cross that line to where I'm just like, I'm not gonna forgive you, I write you off. I literally wash it out of my brain. Like I just had a friend who reached out to me, and he made me mad, and I couldn't even recall why we were no longer friends. I just know that he did something that really upset me, and that was that. I washed it out of my brain to the point where I was like, out of sight, out of mind. I can't even think about you right now. Bye. So I don't need to forgive you. I'm not thinking about you. And now you coming back, and now you reminding me why you made me mad. So now I know why I was mad at you, and I had a valid reason to be mad at you. So
Absolutely, you
now we
forgot
can
about it.
discuss that. He apologized for it. We discussed it. Yeah, that's great. Do I trust you enough to be a friend with you again? That's something we might have to work on and discuss. I don't know. Time will
Yeah,
tell. But if you ever do something ever again, goodbye. But the friendship would never be to the level that it was. And that's for everybody. Like even with me and Riss, we went through stuff where we didn't talk for a while, and we've had to rebuild back up. And it's still not what it was back in the day.
right.
Like there were things that fell back into place, and things that we're still growing, and as time goes on, it's evolving. But I mean, everyone that knows us can look at us and be like, oh, okay, yeah, y'all were a lot different back then versus now. But I'm
Right.
like, well, shit happened. We got growing that we need to do, and we've talked, and we've apologized, and I forgave her. but that's because I mean we got history. That's my sister. Like
Right.
regardless of what's happened, and it wasn't. She didn't do something that was unforgivable. It was just something that pissed me off, and I got headstrong, and I was like, "No, you hurt me. I'm mad." And then,
So would you say that there's limits? Would you say that there's limits to your forgiveness?
oh yeah,
Like with our situation, and for example, if we just needed time to come back to figure it out and on our own and kind of think about what happened, and then when we decided to get back to talking and working that out, we realized that we were kind of both wrong, and just kind of, it was an interesting situation.
we weren't understanding.
We weren't understanding each
listening
other's
to each other.
situation. Exactly. And I think it would have been a lot different for both of us if, like, for the time, I think it was about 2 years we didn't talk. If in that time either one of us had crossed the line of like we got secrets on each other, we done grown up together, so we got deep secrets on each other. But I feel like if either one of us had ever spilled those secrets to somebody at some point in that time, I think coming back together would have been a lot different.
Yeah.
So because we didn't talk,
Well,
but we were mad at each other for whatever, but we all still kept that dirt, that whatever, those sister things to each other, and not really spread it to anybody. I mean, we weren't talking and we were mad at each other. We could have easily went to another friend and been like, "Did you know Donnell did blah 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 and this," but neither one of us did. So, but I think for me, it would have been a lot different had some lines been crossed.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's where more of the trust will be broken.
Right.
Yeah. It's gonna sound crazy, but I feel like it's easier for me to forgive non-family members because you have that expectation that families shouldn't hurt you, they shouldn't do certain things to you, but you expect outsiders to do that because they may not know you, but also two, it's just like those expectations aren't as high for those people unless they're close friends and you've grown up with them and you just know them, But as far as family members, it's so much difficult for me to forgive them because you know me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what will hurt me. And you still chose to fucking hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You still chose to do that.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, do you not care about me?
Mm-hmm.
You're my family. You don't care about me, but you know how they say, family will do you the worst. You know what I'm saying? And expect you to forgive them. Expect you to forgive them.
Blood.
Oh, baby. Trash. Throw you in the trash just like that person on the street because, and even more than, you don't want to do that, but you got to peace too.
Yes, you do.
And if there's people, absolutely. If there's people, whether close or far, that's doing you dirty, baby, you got to figure it out because if you don't, they're going to keep using you and keep doing it to you. And now you're just a rug on the carpet, you know what I'm saying, on the ground, and they're just stepping all over you. So I feel like it's so much easier for me to forgive strangers than family members. Like I still hold grudges on family members, like you did me wrong. I want you to come to me so I know that you truly are genuine with it. You know what I'm saying? But over this last year, knowing that forgiveness is not just for hearing, that the apology or whatever, it's more of you. Maybe you need to start it. You know what I'm saying? And you may not have to tell them, but just starting it within yourself, it's more than enough. It takes a lot off your shoulders, you know what I'm saying? But am I going to reach out to them? Hell no. I still say F you till this day. But I forgive you, you know what I'm saying? And I forgive the reaction or the response that came from me because, baby, it was what you deserved at that time. But knowing now, it's like, did they really deserve that?
Yes.
Because I went hard. Go hard, go home? Yeah, that's me. Like,
they poke the bear, they deserve it.
And
you can't poke the bear and expect not to get bit.
Right. When it comes to family, you just have to do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bad, you know what I'm saying? Because we'll let people on the street use and abuse us, do whatever they want to do, and we're just forgiving. I forgive you, I forgive you. But then that one family member, somebody that's close to you, they do one thing.
Because they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to.
That's what we say, but they're human too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, and outside of just like sitting inside your body with you, because they're not. You know, they're on the outside. They have their own mind, their own feelings. But
True.
we expect them because we put them on the, they up here. You know what I'm saying? Don't you try to get out. You know what I'm saying? But
Right. Right.
they're still human. They have their own responses and reactions to things, and you hope they don't hurt you. But
It
I've been
really
hurt
depends
more
on
by
what they do.
family.
It
Yeah,
does.
I don't care how small it is. If you hurt me, it's gonna take me a minute. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But this last year has shown me like, ooh, baby, I had some growing to do, and not in terms of like spazzing out, because when I was younger, I was wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to fight when I felt disrespected. You know what I'm saying? But that's also I didn't know how to express how I was feeling. You know, fighting or
Right.
putting was the telltale all. You know, you got your ass whooped because you did this to me. You know what I'm saying? But as an adult, you get more consequences now. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
All right.
you have to think of
True.
other ways. And then
Gotta
you
use your
came,
words.
it was right, and they started cursing and everything. And then now you're just like, I have to be better with my words, because now I'm angry and I'm in this whole mess by myself, and this
Yeah.
motherfucker is walking, having fun, lollygagging, do down the
Yeah.
road, happy as
Pisses
hell.
me off even
It's
more.
absolutely not. So I'm heal. Let me take a step back. Forgive, because bitch, I'm gonna knock you out. But I can't do that. I have to reel it in and be like, Dimples, you can't do all that. Like, you can't get out
In
here
your
in these streets.
mind.
Yeah, it
Just play
starts with
it
there.
all out in your mind. No, I'm talking about punching them in your mind,
Oh,
girl.
I've done that many a times, girl. They beat
Just
up right
yeah,
now.
just
You know what I'm saying? They are
just
beat
picture
up.
the whole murder scene.
Look,
I
she
bet
trying
you
to kill.
did.
I'm just trying to beat him up. She's trying to kill now.
She takes it to the next level.
She
That's
does
just what she
everything.
does.
Everything's the next level with her. Like there's no
Look, she
middle.
carries him over her head so many times. But that's
Just
okay, though, too.
saying.
You gotta be honest with yourself. Forgiveness starts with being honest with yourself. What exactly did they do that pissed you off? Was it a boundary? Was it something that they said? You know what I'm saying? You have to be honest with yourself, because if you go into the situation and you're just like, no, you just pissed me off because you pissed me off, well, how are they supposed to learn or grow from it? You know what I'm saying? You have to
Yeah.
give somebody a chance. When you really trying to forgive this person, or you're asking for forgiveness, you expect that second chance, a true second chance,
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
being judged for certain things. But I mean, it's the real world. You're gonna be judged for what the fuck you said to me. Because I expect you not to say that or do those things
Right.
to me. You know what I'm saying? But we got to speak up for ourselves, because that's all. Like, how are they supposed to know that they're gonna hurt you? And that's where boundaries come in. Trusting people. Forgiveness, it stems from a lot of things, but I can't forgive you if I don't trust you. I cannot forgive you if I don't trust that you won't do that again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And that's my problem. I have a really bad thing with trust. You break my trust, it's over for you. Like I
absolutely.
cannot. And I've been like that since I was a child, but it's more so now, because now I'm like, okay, now I'm setting up my boundaries. I'm not going to allow you to
Mm,
come back in to make that same mistake again. So I ain't
yeah.
forgiving nobody, because I don't trust none of them.
Look, I was nervous to not forgive, honestly, because more specifically because it's my father. You know what I'm saying? Coming into my life at 20 some years old, I'm grown. You know, like, I don't need you. Us being who we are. But when you think about it, and you remember you being that child or that girl that wasn't protected by her father, but all your friends have, a dad that's being protective, and they're there and they're teaching them things, like, you get that resentment.
Right.
And baby, that resentment of that person, if you cannot forgive that, it turns into vengeance. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
mad, you're super angry, and this person's like, well, what the you know what I'm saying? But because I
What
had not
did you
communicated,
do?
right, everything. Man, you did everything. You bleeped too many times at this point. It doesn't matter. But because we didn't communicate those boundaries, and I wasn't protected, and I didn't get these things from you. You know what I'm saying? And without communication, without trust, you cannot forgive, and you can't expect forgiveness. You have to
Yeah.
open up your mouth. You know what I'm saying? People can't read your mind. They could. You know, I really thought people had superpowers where you can read what the fuck I'm feeling. You see this look on my face?
You should
I'm
know.
mad. You know what I'm saying? You see I'm mad. So think about what I'm
Right.
mad about. You know what I'm saying? I used to do that, but that's just me who I am, you know? But gotta communicate. You gotta let them know, hey, this hurt me. And some people, like, you know how they say givers give and takers take? If you do not teach someone how to treat you,
Yeah.
you're gonna be hurt so many times over, and it might be the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's not good. That's not good at all. So like I said, it always comes to us, and I fucking hate it, you know, because I don't like responsibilities all the time, you know. But it comes back to us, so we have to start it. We have to start it, and a lot of times we have to finish it because other people are not going to give you that apology that you're looking for. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or they show you that apology more ways than speaking it. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that with my significant other. You know what I'm saying? But he's better at telling me, and you know what I'm saying? But I mean, he's always been okay with it. But we have different love languages, but we also have we
Right.
apologize differently. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So some people is gonna go out and do something for you or take care of a task at home, something that you're normally doing. You know what I'm saying? That's their start of asking for forgiveness without actually saying it. But there's also people like me. No, motherfucker, open up your mouth.
Yep.
Let me
You
Yeah.
better
know
humble yourself. Humble yourself and apologize.
and quit. And quit. I don't want to hear I'm sorry. I want you to say I apologize for, because that's how I teach my
Right.
kids. You need to tell them how they made you feel and for what it is, so they can start, you know, the forgiveness process. Because if you don't, you're gonna be holding on to that shit, and when you get older, you're gonna be angry and pissed off at this person who's living their fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Don't know that they hurt you, or don't know that they made you feel some type of way. That's the worst feeling.
Right.
Is to know
Right.
you're sitting next to a person. You went to your damn family reunion. You see a person who did you so dirty. You know what I'm saying? I've been there so many times. And you know, you want to enjoy the music and eat, and you see this one person, and now you're just stuck on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, ugh, disgust. You know, when they blink, it freaking pisses you off. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And then, what the hell they did to you 3 years ago? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But you still hold on to it because you haven't started that process
Right.
of forgiveness.
And you getting mad because they over there having a good time or whatever, and you sitting
Hell
there like,
yeah.
how you having a good time when
Yes,
you piss me off? Exactly.
How you gonna sit there and have a good time when you
Right.
hurt me and I'm
Hurt me
over here
3
angry?
years ago.
Read the
Exactly.
room.
I can't
Right.
Read
even
the room.
potato salad and peas. Can't even potato
You
salad and
can't.
peas. You're dancing over there. And I'm pissed off from 3 years ago.
Right.
It's a stressful process. You're literally holding your hand so fucking tight, and they're over here like jubileeing. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Right.
I don't
Exactly.
like it. I don't like it, but you know what? It starts with you. And you have that control. This is a big thing, especially for women. We want to be in control of the things that happen to us. Although, you know, we can't
Maintains
always be,
control
but we don't
sometimes, but
try.
mostly, yeah.
Yeah, we try, you know. But you gotta control how you respond to things. Think about what you say before you do it. You know what I'm saying? And also be quick to forgive.
See, I'm that new petty because my petty level, I will sit there and even if I am angry, I'm gonna act like I'm having the time of my life, unbothered, unfazed, like you ain't even there. And then I'm gonna curse about you when I leave. And I'm be like, you see that? Sitting over there looking all fun,
Right.
having all that fun. No, I'm gonna be angry as hell. But in your face, you're gonna look like I don't even see you over there. I'm happy, unbothered. I don't care. No.
I'm different, baby. You gonna
I
know
can't
how
do
to
that.
fucking feel in front of your face, behind your back. Anytime you look at a sign, it's gonna say I'm pissed. I'm gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying? But I have to grow on that because at one point I wouldn't say anything at all. And I was just allowed to build up, and now I'm just this angry bitch walking around here like, you know what I'm saying? Can't nobody figure out what's wrong with me, and I'm still thinking about that thing that you did 20 years ago to me.
Right.
That I can't come back from. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't reached out myself. Although you haven't, but I haven't reached out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking those steps for forgiveness. So you can't expect to be healed from something that you're not taking the steps for. It's not always two people. That's the one thing I like about forgiveness. It doesn't take two people to do it. It starts with you. Mm-mm. And that's a lot. Because, baby, that's a lot on your shoulders. But when she starts forgiving, it starts lifting up. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty. We flowers out here, baby. We blooming. How dare you try and cut my stems? That's my lifeline, baby. You ain't cutting nothing over here. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We growing. Mm-mm. Not over
No,
here.
Maybe
we
one day.
growing. We growing.
All that, you
Maybe,
know?
maybe one day. I stopped growing when I was like 10 years old, okay? I'm gonna
Look,
forever be
I'm,
5'3".
I'm 6'1", so baby, like I'm still tall, but I don't think I'm gonna get any taller than this. Thank God. You know.
I
Mm-mm.
think I literally stopped growing at 10 years old. I'm 5'3" and I'm gonna stay that way. I might get shorter, but
You can't get much shorter than that, girl. You good.
Oh Lord. She didn't mean
mind
it.
your business.
She didn't
Mind
mean
your
it.
business, okay? I am vertically challenged, okay? I don't appreciate the shade from you people that stand over me, literally, okay?
I am not one of
Anyway,
those people.
no, you're not. You're shorter
I'm
than me,
not
and
one of
that's
those
okay.
people.
Oh
I
my God,
appreciate
so I'm the
you.
only tall
Oh
one
no,
out here.
Riss is taller.
She's 5'10".
Oh, baby, see you up there with me. We can help them with their cereal boxes. I'll
Yeah,
Exactly.
reach the
That's
top
what she
shelf.
do. She always makes me
Yeah.
get stuff for her. I'm like,
I
dang, get a
sure do.
stool.
Like,
Get a
help
stool.
me.
I got you. Why do I need a stool?
I don't
We'll
be
get the
asking you to
stuff on
get
the
the
low
stuff on the
shelf.
floor. I
We'll,
don't be asking her to do
Yeah.
that.
we'll do it.
Yes, you do. Yes,
Help
you
me
do.
help you.
You know, it'll
Help
be
me
far
help
down
you.
there. We tall up here. You know, it'll be far to get down there on the
It
floor.
is a lot. I ain't gonna lie. Bending your knees.
Right.
I've been making the tiny knees, baby. We ain't want to get down like that.
Right.
Nope. It takes too much work. Nope.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. I need your help. Okay.
Goodness. So, Steph,
Yeah.
let's unravel
Ooh.
your road to forgiveness. Because, I mean, clearly I've known you your whole life. Well, my whole life, minus your 10 months. But I know how difficult it was and how much you struggled, and you've gone back and forth, back and forth. I mean, we both have.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the place where I'm like, no, I'm not forgiving you. And you're just like, okay. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, but I'm waiting for the day that you turn around and be like, you know what? She don't deserve this. Just because that's kind of like the vicious cycle we've gone through.
It's true.
So like what I know you say Dimples like inspired you, but like what got you to that point where you said, okay, you know what, this is it. I'm forgiving and that's that.
Like you said, I had gone back and forth. Oh god, I can't even count how many times I've gone back and forth. Like, I'm a terrible person. How could I just like cut this person out of my life like this? For those that don't know, I am speaking about my mother, which it's tough. It's tough cutting out family. But there's sometimes you just have to do what you have to do to protect yourself. And I did what I had to do, and that meant cutting ties completely. I don't know if I'll ever open up ties again. I don't think that that's in the cards for me. Just because I know how the conversation's going to go. Like, nothing on the other side has changed. Nothing is going to change. There's no growth from that side as far as wanting to change, wanting a relationship or anything like that. There's nothing. So there's no going forward for that for me. But for me personally, I was stuck and I was still angry all the time. And I didn't want to be angry anymore. I was so... Get your food, girl. Get it.
You got ranch?
Right, she got ranch.
Like, it's like shrimp and sweet potato fries. Don't tell anybody though. Like,
Delicious.
Okay,
secret. I'm gonna put
it's
it.
our secret.
I'm gonna put it down here so you don't see it. Thanks, babe. Appreciate it. I'm still listening. Listening.
Where's ours though? Where's ours?
Right.
Like,
Okay, see what happened was he wasn't even supposed to show y'all. That's the crazy part. He wasn't even supposed to show y'all, so I didn't have to do it, the lady.
I mean, like, why couldn't he
And now you gotta
bring
make
us
3
all
more
food?
plates. Now you gotta make 3 more plates.
And deliver it. Now he gotta go to Boston and
Special
Florida.
delivery. You gotta go to Boston and
In
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, Florida, I'm all for it.
I'm sorry.
It's kinda
I'm
cold.
eating. I'm eating and y'all ain't. It's too cold for
Um,
him. That's what he
I
said.
get it.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Easy. I could definitely ship it to you. You know, I have no issues. Him, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
It's all good.
So, Steph,
Yeah.
with what you said, let me ask you this. Like, it's been years since you've talked,
Yeah.
and I avoid conversations because I still talk with her. I avoid conversations pertaining to you and her and the whole situation. Um, but since it's been such a long time, how are you sure? Like, I know you say you play the conversation you had because it's happened a lot
Right.
and it's been repetitive, but how do you know for sure that there's no growth or willingness on that end if you haven't tried more recently than before?
I mean, I know from conversations of having with other people where she's at. Um, and I know just from obviously from the decades of experience and growing up, um,
Mm-hmm.
I know the mental state, and I know that it's very hard for her to admit that there's even a problem, let alone to get help for problems. So just by knowing the facts that I know and how long it's been and the reactions that I've heard from other people from her and all that stuff, I know she's not there yet. Like I'm not saying she'll never be, and I hope maybe one day we can have a conversation. I don't know, but I just don't see it happening right now or in the near future.
Okay.
Do you feel
I
like
get it, and
going
it's
through?
part of your defense too.
Do you feel like going through others, more so mediators? Because you said that you
The,
have basically spoken to other people to kind of get a gist of what you may get. There's not a time frame on healing, and there's also
right.
not a time frame on talking about things that may be hurtful to both parties. You know what I'm saying? Um, but like your sister said, like, how are you so sure that with the time frame it's been
Yeah.
that it hasn't changed, or maybe she's just not just a little bit, like little growth is okay. Even if
Yeah.
like a weensy bit, a little growth is okay.
I mean, it's possible, but honestly, like, it's so complicated, and I don't want to get into like a lot of it because a lot of it's really personal and
Right.
stuff, and even like saying that it was her was a huge freaking step for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't even believe I said that, but that it's just growing up with that and growing up with her and knowing basically her brain and how she operates in all situations. I pretty
Yeah.
much sat at a table with her on a daily basis for decades where she would plot out her her dealings, whether it be like good or bad or whatever. Like I was like her sounding board. So I literally know, like, like
Yeah.
I know.
You know the base.
Yeah.
You know the base, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do
if
you
you
do you
go through it a
think that?
lot.
Yeah. Do you think that it's a lot of fear of being let down, that you're at this such growth where you've forgiven for yourself and to move forward and to heal? Do you feel like if she hasn't come a little bit closer to that edge when you do, if you were to reach out, that it's a fear of being let down from her not at least attempting what you've already attempted?
I mean, that's steps that she needs to make for herself. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like I would be let down. I don't want to be put myself in a situation where I will get hurt like that again. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. It literally broke me. Like broke
Yeah.
me. I have my tissues. But I just like I cannot I just I cannot put myself through that again. I can't.
Yeah. I
Makes
know for
sense.
me, like approaching someone, and when, there were times when I wanted to reach out to Riss, but I didn't know where she was at. And the fear of her not reciprocating and wanting to mend and being in that healing space prevented me from reaching out to her many a
Yeah.
times. And then it took a life event to happen for her to reach out to me twice for my two life events, for me almost dying during surgery and then with Sky. So it took those things for me to be
Yeah.
like, you know what? I was at this point and then I moved away from that point. She's at this point. It's time to revisit it and see what can happen. So I know it took that, but it was difficult for me because I fought with it. I was like, if I go back and she's just like, nah, F you, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Even though I did that to her,
Right.
the fear of, her rejecting me
I'm
when I reached out
I'm
stopped
not
me too.
afraid of that. Like I'm
Okay.
at peace with my decision. Like I'm I'd gone back and forth with it for a long time, as you know. But I'm at
Yeah.
peace with my decision now of the no contact. Like
Okay.
I'm happier now with it. And now that I've gone through my whole forgiveness thing and starting that process for me, like I definitely feel lighter. And I definitely like I don't feel anger towards her anymore, which is surprising because I held that for so long. Like I feel like I still need to have it. Like every time like it's not there, I'm like, why is that not there? Like that's usually my
Mm.
first thing is I think of her and I get angry. And I don't have that anymore. And I all I want for her is for her to be happy and for her to find peace for herself because I know she doesn't have it and I want her to have it. Nothing more. There's nothing more in this world that I want her to have is for her to be able to have some peace.
Mm. Mm.
Ooh,
That's growth.
For
That's
real.
that's
That's deep.
because I've forgiven people and I don't care that deep. So
That's
that's
literally all I want for her. And if that means that
yeah.
I don't have a relationship going forward, I'm okay with that. But all I want for her is for her to be happy and to be at peace and to forgive herself and to move on and to
do you
live
think you would
live a life.
regret that though? You know what I'm saying? Because this is what they're saying as far as like the stages of forgiveness, right? It's denial. I mean,
Yep.
don't really want to. We don't want to know it. Like, what? Why? And then it's anger, and we've all been there. You know what I'm saying? And then we have bargaining. Well, if I do forgive them, then right, we've been there.
Yep.
Then it becomes depression because we're not sure if we're supposed to even be forgiving them,
Yep.
but we know we should, right? And then it goes. This is the main one and the biggest one: acceptance. You've you've accepted that you've decided that I'm going to forgive you, maybe for how you made me feel or the things that we've been through together. And one thing that I learned is like these older generations, they're not willing to talk to you about anything that they've done that may have caused you hurt or pain when you were younger because we make mistakes as parents too, but we think we're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some parents who may go overboard or whatever the case is, not to dig too deep, but just on the basis of everything. We're new to these things. We don't come with manuals. You know what I'm saying? Our parents hurt us and half the time they don't even know they hurt us, and then we get older because we weren't, well, me personally in my life, I wasn't able to speak up for myself and tell people how they made me feel, specifically parents, because that's back talking or that's being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And then it gets to a case where you become an adult and you take that from your significant other or people and friendships and stuff like that. So it becomes repetitive. But I'm saying that to say like acceptance is like the biggest thing. You can accept the fact that you're never going to talk to this person again, but you're healing from what they've caused you. Or you can
Mm-hmm.
accept the fact that, hey, I might want to rebuild this relationship or friendship, but it doesn't have to be right now. It's all in your timing. You know what I'm saying? But you have to accept the fact that something's going to happen, whether it's negative or positive, but it all depends on you and the choices that you make. But the biggest thing for me is that the anger and then depression. You know what I'm saying? Like I've become depressed over figuring out if I should forgive someone, and then it becomes a regret because my mom was on her deathbed and I'm still having feelings of how I felt when I was that little girl. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't want to get to a point where you're depressed and then you have regrets of, if only I told her this. If only I could have said that, because we only get one mother, we only get one father. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean we won't have father figures or mother figures in our life, right? But as far as these people who have, we have their blood running through our veins and stuff like that, we came from them. That's deep to feel those feelings, and you can't change what's there. You know what I'm saying? So you try and throw everything. I apologize for this. You know, I apologize for that. You know, I hope you forgive me for this and how I felt and how we, you know, we didn't have that connection. You know, me and my mom were close, but we were. She's a Taurus. I'm a Scorpio. We don't get along. You know what I'm saying? But the good thing is, like, she's stubborn. I'm gonna say she's just stubborn. You can't change anything. She was setting her ways, you know, and it was just crazy to just be able to talk to her to an extent. But she was my best friend. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to some things, it's like there's times where I still today want to call her, but I know I can't. You know what I'm saying? So it gets to a point where you don't want to feel that regret. You know what I'm saying? Having that open line, and I would only have that unless the parent has gone overboard, you know, and it's other things. You know what I'm saying? But having that line open to the possibility that they may come around and stuff like that is leaving hope around, you know. But you also don't want to feel like the depression of it not happening at all. So it all comes. It's so much stuff within the stages of just forgiveness. It's just that acceptance, good or bad, but you're in control of what happens. You know what I'm saying? As far as what you choose, it's difficult sometimes though.
It is.
And some people get stuck on anger more than anything.
Oh,
So they don't even get through depression, acceptance, or anything like that. They're still stuck on anger. I'm pissed off. You know what I'm saying? I can't. Nope. And I'm going to keep going right back to being pissed off, because it's not just this one thing that you've done. It's this on top of that and on top of that. And, you know, it just starts piling up. And now you got all these papers. And what the fuck are these papers? Yep. I'm going to give them back to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving them back. You know, so it just keeps piling up. And then it's never ending. So it starts with you. You know what I'm saying? You have to either stop it or be more healthy with forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? We can say, I forgive you. And then you pissed off, you go home like, man, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure. Like, it happens all the time. All the time. But we forgave them. You know what I'm saying? You didn't. You really didn't. You want to say that you did, but you didn't.
You just said it. It was an empty forgiveness. I've done those a lot.
Imagine
just
that.
to make them shut up.
Empty forgiveness. Imagine that. Something being empty.
I don't like you calling me out, talking about me until you said acceptance, because I'm all those other things. I appreciate you coming in here, reading me. Okay?
Sometimes you gotta be open to that read. You know what I'm saying? You may not like it. I didn't when somebody read me, baby, because I was like, oh, hell no. You ain't gonna tell me. You know what I'm saying? But you have to reevaluate yourself and be like, you know what? It is steps to this, you know? But I'm going at my own pace. You're not going to make me forgive you because I'm not ready for that. And if I lied to you about forgiving you, now we stuck in the same cycle all over again. And every time I see you, I'm going to hate you. Every time I see
and
you,
they're not going to understand why, because you supposedly forgave them. So they don't understand why you're still angry.
They're moving on and they have no idea. So we have to get to a point where it's like that communication of forgiveness and working through that forgiveness. But don't allow someone to pressure you into forgiving them for something that hurts you. You know what I'm saying? There's steps to this. I'm going to forgive you in my time. That doesn't mean you're holding necessarily a grudge. Now, you just being, you know, you just holding a grudge. You know, I mean, that's on you. You know, but as far as forgiveness, forgive through yourself first. And it's easier, essentially, to forgive that person because you've already forgiven it within yourself. Trust me, I'm still working. But I'm gonna get to a point of mastering it. Ain't nobody gonna be able to mess with me. No, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll forgive you.
Protect your peace.
Throw it in the garbage. Because you know what? I forgave you, and let's move on. And some of my friends be like, you know, how the hell this person did you so wrong? How the hell can you still be cordial with them? Because I threw it away. Shit. Like, now if they continue to do it, then at that point, they're thrown away. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to have you in my life. It's a privilege for you to be here. And I'm in control of these boundaries.
Hey, loves. I hope you're enjoying the discussion so far. This has gone a little bit over, so it's such an important topic for us all that we are going to split it into two sessions. So join us next week for part two. Until then, be kind, spread love, and just remember it's all a bunch of BS.